But you've also got some more information, as it tends to drip out in these sorts of matters, on what the government did do as this was being put to the High Court, that original case.
That's right, Kieran. There's been an extraordinary revelation in documents released to the Senate in terms of government actions in relation to the release of the detainees. The Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus in June allowed his agency, the Australian Human Rights Commission, to intervene in the High Court case on behalf of the paedophile seeking release and against the concept of indefinite detention. And the documents reveal that former Attorneys General Christian Porter and Michaelia in similar test cases on indefinite detention refused the Human Rights Commission doing that. This begins when the Human Rights Commission President Rosalind wrote to Mr Dreyfus on May 22nd. The letter, which has been tabled, argues for the Human Rights Commission to be involved in the case, says the decision is controversial from a human rights perspective because of the potential it creates for arbitrary and indefinite detention, contrary to Article 9 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The Commission has formed the view that this proceeding meets its intervention guidelines. The proceeding involves an intervention issue because it deals with the right to liberty and, in particular, freedom from arbitrary detention. The resolution of this issue, it says, will have implications for people who've been kept in immigration detention for prolonged periods, not just the plaintiff. The letter then mentions Christian Porter refusing a similar request from the Commission. It says, in a letter to me on 4th of January 2019, Christian Porter raised the concern that if leave were granted, the Commission may argue positions on constitutional issues that may diverge from the Commonwealth's general position. That won't assist the court, he said. Then it goes on 4th of March 2022, the former Attorney-General, Michaelia, refused the approval sought by the Commission. Similar approval they were after. But in this case, Mark Dreyfus lets them get on the side of the detainees. On June 5, Mr Dreyfus writes back to the Commission, I approve the AHRC undertaking constitutional law work in the High Court in the NZYQ matter on the following condition. A, the AHRC must make clear in any submissions that they're their submissions and not on behalf of the Commonwealth. So that letter was sent on June 5. That was the date that High Court Justice Gleeson made comments in the court which indicated the detainee may have a good case. Maybe the Human Rights Commission intervention wasn't decisive then, but the letter raises further questions as to whether certain figures in the government did as much as they could to defeat this High Court action, and whether a couple of ministers might have been secretly supportive of ending the concept of indefinite immigration detention. The Australian Human Rights Commission was certainly celebrating in the wake of the outcome. This is another piece of correspondence tabled to the Senate. Deputy General Counsel of the Commission, Graham Edgerton, internal correspondence, he says of the High Court decision, quote, this is an amazing outcome that will have a practical impact for up to 92 people who are currently in immigration detention and may allow many former detainees to seek compensation for unlawful detention. Equally importantly, it will change the way that Australia deals with asylum seekers in the future. You can see there, Kieran, a very different approach from the former coalition government who said to the Human Rights Commission, you're not getting involved in this, arguing for the side of the detainees, to what Mark Dreyfus decided to do as Attorney-General in June.
I remember the former coalition government moving over those few pins in strawberries and enacting laws very quickly and being all over that with news conferences and so on. This is happening and we're not seeing that full frontal, all hands on deck sort of response from the top levels of the government. It's a surprise given how pivotal security is to their political prospects.
This could be a turning point for this government if they're not very careful.